Hello, everyone. So this is from the UK Home Office, would you believe, for asylum seekers. I'm sure people have seen this at the moment, but this is from the Home Office in England, the actual Home Office. When I first seen this, I did take it was a joke at one stage. And then I looked through it, and then I said, oh, well, it actually is the UK Home Office, because I looked at the URL, etc., and it was the UK government's URL. And it is actually a pamphlet that's given to asylum seekers. Now, to state the obvious before I go any further, of course, I'm not British. But this is happening in Ireland, it's happening all across Europe, that these people are coming in and they don't understand European cultures, they don't understand our values, they don't understand. They think they can do whatever they want, basically, because they have the God given right as an asylum seeker to come in and do whatever they want, basically, without any consequences. And again, it just goes to show you when the UK government are doing something like this, that has been the case for a long time in the UK. Now, the second thing I want to say is no shit, Sherlock, because let's be fair, all this stuff is very bog standard for any civilized society. If you were going to any civilized society in the world, you would not commit these crimes. These are just basically the very obvious thing that you should not cause any trouble in, regardless of what country you're in. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. It goes through a lot of stuff, like living in the UK, etc. Goes through all this, dumps. But there's some mad stuff in this too when you look at it, like this gender equality. Like I've seen asylum seekers here that were shocked that women can own their own money, like have their own money, etc. And able to choose who they can marry, etc. They were shocked. I've seen a video one time that they didn't think that was right in Irish society, that the asylum seeker came here and said it isn't right that the woman has the choice to decide who she can marry, who she can be with, etc. And as you see here, they didn't believe it. They didn't think it was right that in Ireland they should have the right to marry whoever they wanted, which was insane. To study and go to school, because a lot of asylum seekers too come from countries where women are basically second-class citizens. They're not even acknowledged, and a lot of these people watch Sharia law, etc. We see in some parts of the UK where there's Sharia courts, etc. And that's what they want in the Western world too. But the simple thing is that like literally they turn up and they expect that everything bows to them. But let's put it this way. It should, like in the West, it's always been this way, that women can choose their own what they want to do. If they want to work, if they want to go and study, they can do whatever they want. That's democracy, that's freedom, that's the West, and we're not going to be. And it's absolutely insane that this happened, that they have to put this in writing to tell these people. Like they shouldn't be here, they shouldn't be in the West if they don't understand these basic stuff, because these are basic stuff. This is nothing like Pythagoras' theorem or anything like that. Control and behaviour, we see a lot of this happening in society, in the Western society, taking the passports, holding against the will, etc. But the thing about it is, we'll go back to number 5, domestic violence. We went down a good bit. Is to do with the consequences. Like the UK government says here, treat somebody unfairly gender, could go to the police, could affect your accommodation and support. It's not like you go to prison, or you'd be deported. Could affect your accommodation support. Like clearly they should say, oh, you will go to prison, we will deport you, we will send you home. No, we just need your accommodation support and stuff, but you still get your social welfare and stuff. But it's the same with domestic violence. Like this is the basic stuff. Like it's crazy that it is actually in the document from the UK government. As I say, domestic violence is a serious crime in the UK. Any behaviours in this, you could be arrested. You could. You're not that you will be arrested and deported. You could be arrested and you could be arrested. It's the fact of the matter to use this language. Like you think in the UK they would want to hammer their point home. Like if I was writing this document, I was a minister in the Home Affairs type of stuff in Ireland, I would be saying you will be deported, you will be sent home. There'll be no ifs, there's no buts. You're going home if you cause this trouble in Ireland. But you could be arrested, you could go to prison, you could lose your accommodation. You could. It's all coulds. It's not that we will do it. You could maybe possibly, but it's absolutely insane that they're more worried about these people's accommodations than they are about the victims. They nearly don't care about the victims. They nearly the victims are second fiddle to them. But yeah, like this is all basic stuff, and particularly this, etc. There's been many times in Ireland, for example, this has happened, where asylum seekers think that once they're a man, etc., they could tell a woman to do anything they want, basically. And that's not the West. That is not what... You could stay over in your own country and do that if you want, but you're not coming to this country or any other European country to do that. And the simple thing is that this is called rape. Yeah, if the woman doesn't consent, or you have no right to be with them, etc. You can't force them. This is the West. This is freedom, democracy. But yeah, just reading this, it's crazy that they have to spell this out. Someone that's under the age of 16 is a serious crime in the UK. Like, it's crazy to have to actually spell that out. Like, when you read it, you're just like, what the fuck? What kind of people are coming into Europe? What kind of people are coming into the UK that they have to specifically specify this? Because it's absolutely insane. Like, any country, like, take what's up as an Irish citizen, even if I moved to the back end of nowhere in Asia, you would notice that this is the basic laws of humanity, the basic laws of society, how you should behave as an individual, as a person. You shouldn't have to point these things out. Let's be fair, these are the most basic things in society. And you could go to prison. You could. Warders could again. Not that you will go to prison. We will send you home. Again, not even one thing about sending you home if you cause that trouble. Because that's the punishment should be. If you cause these kind of troubles. Straight away, onto the plane, goodbye. Go home. Stay away. Never come back. You could go to prison. You could use your accommodation support. And it would affect your asylum claim. Like, my God. Whatever about your asylum claim, it should automatically, if somebody commits these crimes, they should automatically be told, no. Never. You're never coming into this country. Goodbye. Never come back. It's crazy. Like, they're putting this document out basically to say what's the rules, etc. But they're basically saying ifs and buts in terms of the big gripe with the hour saying, this is the punishment you should get. Like, it's sinister way. I don't know what 1984, but it's crazy. But it gets, like, as I say, respect in public. Like, we've seen many things in Ireland, take for example, of asylum seekers taking out the private parts, etc., in the middle of the street, on the public street, and public transport, thinking that it's acceptable. It's absolutely insane. And then we have seen many times, unfortunately. And not even asylum seekers, but we've seen this with people taking images of children, specifically zooming in on children. And as I said, serious crimes. If you do any of these things, you could end up being arrested. You could just take that in mind. Could go to prison, and you could lose your accommodation and support. That could affect your asylum claim. No shit, Sherlock. But but it's absolutely fucking farcical. Like, when you look at this and when you read through it, like, it's mad. That this is actually, like, as I said, I had to look at the URL. I had to look and say, yeah, it actually is the UK government's URL. Like, I actually had to look for a few minutes when I seen this kind of going around online. There's another pamphlet kind of thing with images and stuff. But it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And God knows how much money they spent on putting up this. This could have been fucking €600,000. £600,000, may I say. Aside of the code and behaviour, like, mother of God. When you see this kind of stuff, they shouldn't be in. People who don't understand these basic things have no place in the West, and that's just a simple fact. If they don't understand the basics, they should not be here. Simple as that. And it's just a simple thing, because let's be fair, Irish people understand every bit of this. Like, it doesn't need to be told to them. If you go to Australia, to New Zealand, to Canada, or the United States, well, even if you went to Brazil, or if you went to countries that have no law and order based, even Africa or in Asia, Irish people would understand, yes, you probably shouldn't go around and you dictate to women what they should and what they can't do, etc. It's the same with stopping women from going for school, going to owning their own living, etc. Irish people know that automatically, that that has been here for the last hundreds of years, that women were respected. It's even in the proclamation of the Irish Republic that Irish women have the entitlement to vote. That no person can take that away from them. It says specifically that every Irish woman has the right to vote. And for some of these asylum seekers, it's unbelievable that that's the case. And it just goes to show you, because these people are in the West and they don't believe in the Western values. They don't believe in our values. And we shouldn't give up on our values, just to say. This is just the thing. As I say, I'm not in the UK, but it's happening here. And we'll probably see the Irish government at some stage putting something like this up. But if it has to be spelled out, it's quite insane. Like, this is quite insane. Like, when you really, like, I would recommend just having a look at this tonight. As I said, it's on the Home Office website, and there's a few other pamphlets around. But they're giving these to asylum seekers. It's probably spending €1 million on giving them out, which is insane. But it is really insane. Like, when you think about it, it is actually insane. But these people have no right to be here if they don't understand the basics. Like, these are the very basics of society. But that's what I say. But it's unfortunate that we live in the world that this is reality. Like, this is not a mockery. This is not a fake thing. This is the actual UK government. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But I think it shows the silence of the times. But let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.